brand new connection. So, yep, green. Look at that.
How about that?
I'm gonna kill someone.
This motherfucker gonna kill someone.
Here, I'll get a little bit. Here, I'll get you a little more room. Oh boy.
Well, how about them apples? Applesauce, bitch.
I'll give you guys one guess as to what we had an issue with. And longtime viewers of the channel will know that it rhymes with pox or box or locks.
Remember the locks from the 90s?
Oh, we're yellow.
Yeah. Oh, great. Terrific.
All right. Well, look.
Sometimes you just can't win.
Let's just go with it and see. I mean, we'll
just go with it, man.
We'll check this, and if we disappear,
I'm gonna get my notes. So
let's let everyone filter in.
Looks like we're. If they return, please return.
Yeah,
please,
I mean,
please
good
return,
God
please.
Almighty! It's only a half an hour after we said.
Well, I changed it on the social media announcement that I made to 8:30 as opposed to 8, like I initially said.
I appreciate it. Oh, it does show we're live.
Well, how about that? It says restore chat. Nothing to see
Got
here.
this thing working now? Yes! Anthony, we do. I think. Hang on.
Is that Mr. Kulik?
No, that's actually a different Anthony.
Oh.
Got this thing working now? Yes. All right, sweet.
Woo!
And we sound good, too. We're not doubled or anything. Okay. All right, shout out to Anthony DeCharo. Yes, we got it working now. Dylan, I have not seen either of these words. Dylan Mascalino, just happy the news is back. Thank you, guys.
The Dylan Mascalino escape plan. I love it.
Adam Snugs is here. What up? Good to see you guys. Thank you for hanging in there. We're going to give a couple of minutes or about a minute to let people filter in. But Jiminy Jillikers, I literally just got off the phone with Cox Communications, and we're still showing an orange line, but the video actually looks okay. So I'm saying we stick with it. Oh, and it's green.
And now we're green, and the stream health is fine.
Oh my God! So maybe we just should have stuck it out that first time.
Who the hell knows?
Live and learn.
Yeah, you live and let learn.
We've dropped some stuff, but all right. So, so how's it going, Fuego?
I'm doing all right now, man.
You were just preparing this while I was watching the gamey game of Thrones. Because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I don't watch.
Producer Dave and I had to watch
Game
it.
It
was the culmination of 8 years, so we had to watch it. So
were you satisfied without spoiling? I just saw.
It was as good of a finale.
Lee's post. Lee is pissed, dude.
Oh, really? Lee is pissed because he's been loving it.
He's been defending.
He's been loving it. That's a surprise.
And then he was like, as if Dexter had the worst finale ever. This might be one of the worst. That's what Lee just said.
What kind of about face is that? I cannot pinpoint Lee's decision making. This is crazy.
Who can? We love the guy. But.
So that's so weird for someone that loved the season as much as that to not like this. Like I'm so curious. I gotta watch his review later to find out why.
No, I was just
so what I will say is it was as satisfying a finale as we could have gotten based on the last couple of episodes that we got. Because they took a lot of the fun off the table in the last couple of episodes.
I have to show
that
somebody
guys, we're just vamping a little bit, letting people filter in for just a minute.
And I'm gonna see if this
producer Dave and I did watch it. I mean, Dave loves the series, but he agrees with me that especially the last 3 episodes were super rushed. Like, there was something that happened in this episode that we literally didn't get to see a single person's reaction to. They kind of flashed forward off camera. It was so ridiculous.
Well, I have this thing right here. Well, so shortly after the episode aired, somebody put this up. I don't know if you can even
hang on, is this a spoiler? Let me see.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's just talking shit.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can post that. You got to be very careful nowadays.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, that's the camera right there you're known for. So.
You can't really. Can you see it?
See.
Can you see it?
All right, we'll just read it. It's George R. R. Martin.
Okay, George R. R. Martin, Stephen King, who are buddies, mind you. And he's like, how's the winds of winter coming along, Steve? That's coming from George R. R. Martin. And Steve's like, finish it yourself, George. And he's like handing a manuscript like over to him. Because George R. R. is notorious for not being able to turn over content with the quickness. And Steve puts out like a book or 2 a year. So it's like...
All right, look, they all can't be prolific as the king.
I know. He lives up to his name, rightfully so.
And get it over with.
If given the chance,
it would be a serious thought process. Fair enough. Look, hey, it's I couldn't if Superman was real and he showed
you're like
up,
that's my hall pass with my significant other.
I'd be like
Superman.
If Superman asked, I mean, I'd kind of have to do it if he was real. You know what I mean? Like
if Stephen King wanted it, I might think differently.
See, I'm okay with saying Superman because I know that would never happen. But you. I don't know. You got that luscious hair. Well, why don't we go ahead and launch into this? I think we've given people enough time to filter in. And thank you guys for coming back. If you did, we greatly apologize. We were having technical difficulties. We got Cox on the line and we figured it out. Arcane Nebula is here. Count Calcula is here. This is live.
Familiar peepees. I love
Game of Thrones was says Ben Grimm. Fair enough. Finale was solid considering how the season went. See, that's the way I put it, pretty much. Tony Robinson, interesting ties, guys. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so hey everyone, welcome to. Oh wait, hang on. We do this a different way. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Jaime Fuego,
and this is your horror show news with booze.
Yeah. So the last few times you saw us do this program, we switched back to the olden format. So the old format where we were full scripted.
The old new format.
Yeah, the old new format. There you go. But fully scripted and news stories, and then doing some discussion at the end with like personal thoughts, which was looser and loosen the ties and
plus
all that
cold
stuff.
Opens.
Yeah, which were honestly a lot of fun to do, and most of them
are fun. They're just time consuming.
Massively, in fact. And so yeah. I mean, we just had a lot that we wanted to catch everybody up on, especially with the last few weeks.
We missed all
Texas
of
Frightmare
March.
And
we missed all of March for news, and there was some good news.
Well, and then I mean April specifically too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, April.
No, I thought was it just April? No, I thought we missed March too.
If we did,
hey, I think we might have missed March too. Anyway,
well, I mean April was when we had the Phoenix Film Festival and the IHSFF stuff going on.
The beginning of May was Texas Frightmare. So.
And now we're gearing up for Phoenix Comic Fan Fusion Fuck Fest, whatever the hell it is. I don't even know, but Lord. Yeah. So anyway, Horror Show News with Booze.
Horror Show News with Booze is back, you guys. So what we did was we found the 6 most appealing / biggest / most recent horror stories for us to talk about. And
it's been kind of dry news, dude. Yeah. I mean, there was not a lot to report, even in the first 20 days of this month. And
which is odd because we missed so much in the previous month. I feel like, it doesn't make sense to report on it now, but there were big to-dos. So anyway, we're gonna get into this. There's an awful lot that's happened very recently.
There is.
So let's jump right into it.
Yeah, and honestly, the biggest and the craziest, and that's so funny because every time I hear the jump right into it, and the fact that everybody says jump right into it.
Really, it's all Philly
Perry
D.
Perry on Collider, like all these different people.
Perry too. I wonder who said it first, him or Philly D. But nonetheless, that's Philip DeFranco's phrase to begin with.
Perry's a girl.
Well, you can tell I don't watch that channel.
No, she's one of the worst on there.
Javier Lerma.
She's like the post-Campia since he's been...
Too much booze, not enough news. Thanks, Producer Dave.
All right, so let's get to some goddamn news then, Producer Dave. Love you, man.
Actually, point of order for the news with booze, Count Cucula asks, what are we drinking? He's drinking a Sailor Jerry. I am drinking vodka and pineapple juice.
Jerry? I don't have Sailor Jerry.
I don't... I checked the cran grape, and it was out of date, so I stuck with the pineapple juice. Fuego, what are you drinking?
I am going very basic bitch status today, dude. I'm just drinking a Coors.
Okay.
Coors, yeah. Tap the Rockies, man. Yeah, I was thinking about
I'm 18 and got me a job. Congratulations, Javier.
That's fantastic. Congrats to you. Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah, so let's rock into this. So with all of the appeal that we have from Jordan Peele and tackling
I fucking hate you so
and
much.
Tackling the horror genre most recently. I mean, Get Out was really solid in my opinion. Us, not quite as much, although I did still appreciate and enjoy the predominance of it. It's still a well-directed and well-made film. We have another badass African-American comic that apparently has been a big fan of this particular franchise for a very long time. Yeah, he said that he has been... So Chris Rock is apparently involved with producers James Wan, Lee Whannell, who was the director of the original Saw film, and then most recently did Upgrade, which I loved Upgrade. And they are all teaming up to relaunch and do kind of like a reimagining of the Saw franchise, with Chris Rock having written the story, but then he has passed it off to the duo to write the screenplay that did Jigsaw.
Apparently, he had an idea for a movie in the Saw vein, and he was approached by the makers, whatever. They met up and had a discussion, and they were like, we're actually down for this. This is cool. And so they're like, yeah, let's just reboot it. And again, in the Peelish era, if we want to call it that, the Peelish era, why not? You know, why not see what another fantastic comedian can get to? Here's the thing about comedians, guys.
Well, and it's not just, you know, I mean, this isn't even like the race angle here, man. This is just like comedians, even like, I mean, Lord and Miller. I mean, we're talking the Russo brothers jumping from doing all this, you know, NBC work with
McBride. Also, good point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There are so many that are able to even look at Jim Carrey, man. You know, jumping from doing, you know, very silly, insane shizzle like in Living Color and whatnot, and then eventually getting into dramatic work like Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine. Robin Williams is another one that did fantastic work. So whether in front of the camera or behind the camera, I think people with comedic sensibilities, they have that capacity to make the jump, man.
Well, what I was gonna say, the back half of my statement is the thing about comedians is they tend to be some of the darkest souls out there because they wrestle with a lot of demons. Can you imagine the lifestyle of a comedian, of a working, traveling comedian who, you know, has to fly and be solo and go from hotel to hotel doing performance after performance for people they don't know?
Yeah,
a lot of those comedians deal with darkness on a very, very real level. A lot of the greatest comedy comes from dark backgrounds, you know.
Truly, and it's not like you're in a rock band where you have all these, like, you know, all the camaraderie of being
but well, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a certain solitude that comes with it, and so you absorb a lot of this stuff. Jordan Peele absorbed a lot of Twilight Zone and a lot of things like that. That's why his movies, both of them, have been essentially long Twilight Zone episodes,
and why he's hosting the
new Twilight Zone for real. So it's. While it is surprising, it's not entirely shocking, or maybe vice versa.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? Because I know comedians have that depth, and especially the ones like I'll bet you we're going to see more and more of this because there's a lot of comedians. I listen to a lot of podcasts that have a lot of comedians rotating on it, and the one constant with them is they tend to really like horror movies. And it's really strange, but I'll bet you we're going to see more and more comedians. Again, Danny McBride, another perfect example brought up by Ben Grimm. You know what I mean? Like, these comedians, they love this stuff. And
he was doing a lot of dark comedy in some of his later work anyway, man. I mean, so it made sense. It made sense. Yeah. But so, yeah, this is just interesting for the sheer fact that idea is...
Peelish era is official canon. I really liked it when I said it, so yeah, I hope so.
But, yeah, so it's going to be directed by the dude, Darren Bousman.
Darren Bousman.
Yeah, Bousman. He directed the first 3 Saw sequels. So he did 2, he did 3, he did 4. But for me...
A great trilogy, by the way, in the Saw series.
I stopped watching after 2. I just lost interest in the whole
torture. It's actually 1, 2, and 3 are kind of its own thing. 4, 5, and 6 are kind of their own thing. And I don't know. We did the 8 Days of Sawloween. Yeah. Myself and She Who Shall Not Be Named on the channel. So
She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Okay, well, I didn't need you to emphasize it so much.
No, but... there's a song by Mr. Danzig.
Sorry. Oh, really? Okay, all right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a Danzig song.
Is it really? I had no idea.
Actually, Sam Hain, but
well, okay.
His
nonetheless,
solo...
if you really want to know who I'm talking about, then watch those. There's 8 of them, for fuck's sake. But. Or it was 7 Days of Sawloween, or was it the 8? No, it was the 8 Days of Sawloween because it was going to be the 8th movie that came out. We did the new one, yeah. Nonetheless,
anyway.
We will be covering it on the channel. I'll just be doing it solo. I'm drunk.
Good times. But yeah, so you see the thing with Bousman, Bousman, whatever, as you properly clarified for me, you know, his Saw stuff is cool, but I honestly really have a soft spot for Repo and Devil's Carnival and the music-related horror that he
I never saw Repo.
That he did on. Cecil Laird has never seen Repo.
Attack him
in the comments.
Here's what I love. Here's why he's a professional. Because his look of astonishment was right into camera. He didn't look at me with astonishment. He looked at it, he was like, what? Like, oh my God, the ever the pro. Yeah, I love it.
Sometimes. But I think we've said enough about this one. Cool thing is that James Wan and Upgrade director and Lee also directed the original Saw, so he was like the co-creator of the franchise with Wan. They're all going to be EPing along with Chris Rock EPing and having the story idea. So I don't know. I'm just really curious where the hell they're going to go with this. But we can jump to our second story now because of the fact This is another one that broke a few weeks ago. This actually broke.
This was really exciting.
This broke the day after I interviewed that guy who made those awesome little jigsaw.
Shout out to our episode from Thursday. He was Pyramid.
I'm trying to remember. Double check.
Pyramid Gallery.
Yes.
Pyramid Gallery.
Yeah, based in New
York.
York.
The man behind Pyramid Gallery, based in New York. He makes different music boxes a la the Hellraiser series, except it's inspired by the lore that Clive Barker put out in some of the early 80s Hellraiser comic books. So he has different boxes via different, configurations. The one we know is the Lament configuration by Le Marchand. There are different configurations, and so he's made different boxes that we showcase in the episode, all of them. You can see them all. And he actually makes a Le Marchand Lament configuration that's actually a music box. So you can turn the thing that you normally rub your finger on and it plays music. Yeah. It's just really dope stuff. But yeah, we love Hellraiser here.
Indeed.
Shout out to Queenie Todd, who also does.
And so it's been awaited for so very long, especially to the sheer fact that even Barker himself had a reboot script that he wrote that was floating around 4 or 5 years ago, and they just couldn't find funding, whatever. Well, apparently, with the fact that so many of the... I still feel like the Halloween 2018 film has paved the way for these sort of projects to find theatrical funding. I really do. So, and especially with a talent like David S. Goyer scripting this. Now,
the man behind Blade.
I have but also Blade Trinity, but also
but also
he is slightly hit and miss with his output.
No, but didn't he do in the I Word with Leo DiCaprio? In that I'm not sure. The top. What the hell is that one?
I don't know. The ones that I'm most
people are running on the walls and the cities are folding over. What the hell is that movie called?
DiCaprio?
Yeah, with DiCaprio.
Inception?
Yeah, Inception.
I thought
wasn't
that
Goyer
was
part of that?
I thought that was Kristopher and his brother, but perhaps I'm wrong.
I thought that was a Goyer thing, but Goyer was involved in the Dark Knight trilogy.
He was involved in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, I'm confusing him with Nolan.
Yeah, he wrote that. Well, he's a protege of
Nolan. That's why I do that.
Yeah, he wrote Batman Begins, and then
Happy birthday, Wences.
And then he was behind the story for Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, which is shit. And
Dark Knight Rises is shit.
It's really bad, man. But Batman Begins.
Hot take.
Yeah, Batman Begins is great. I actually really like his Man of Steel script. I don't mind his BVS script. And then he did all 3 of the Blade movies. The first 2 Blades are fantastic. The third one, aside from Deadpool being in there and Jessica Biel being all babe status and stuff, there's really not much interesting going on.
You're very right.
You have Triple H in there. It's kind of funny.
Triple H!
But so, yeah, David S. Goyer, the guy behind all of those different properties, he started out with Demonic Toys, Arcade, so he had some Full Moon flavor.
God.
Yeah, which is really funny that's how he got his career start,
Oofda.
Was in that sort of genre filmmaking. And then he did Crow City of Angels, Puppet Masters, the adaptation of the Robert Heinlein novel, and then, he jumped into the bigger budget, superhero type stuff. He's also to blame for the Nick Fury television movie that was made in 1999 or 98, something like that.
Wait, wasn't that, was that Numbnuts from Baywatch?
Yes, it was! Don't hassle the Hoff! Don't hassle the Hoff!
Nick Fury.
Don't hassle the Hoff.
Oh, I'd love to see an old versus new Nick Fury. Hasselhoff versus Sam Jackson.
That would be pretty amazing.
He'd be clobbered.
Yeah. So, David S. Goyer...
Demonic Toys? You've never seen that? Ooh, well, Demonic Toys is good.
You're not missing
Doll Man versus Demonic Toys? Not so good.
Not missing anything. Yeah, that was really good. That had Corey Feldman in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently David S. Goyer, this long protege of Nolan and superhero dude, is the one who's going to be doing a...
I'm just making sure your arm was going off camera.
Yeah, he's going to be doing this...
They like to see all of your sexiness.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. So he is apparently behind this reimagining of the franchise, as they've described it, but it is going to be... It's not a sequel. It's not even a rebequel or anything like that, at least from the details we have thus far.
It's a full reboot.
It's a full reboot, and it's going to be based directly on the novella, The Hellbound Heart. So
really?
So it really makes you wonder, are they going to...
They're going to have to get a new Pinhead.
But are they going to make
Pinhead
him
has to be a female,
like in the source material?
That's the thing, guys. Here, let me blow your minds if you don't know. Pinhead in The Hellbound Heart, which we read the first 3, I'm halfway through it for whatever I call that segment where I read books to you.
Startling story time.
Thank you.
I came up with that.
And that's why he's the co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... What was I talking about?
And you're talking about Hellbound Heart and how you were doing that reading.
News with booze.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, actually, because, as I'm reading it, I do the voices of the different Cenobites. And it does, literally, Clive Barker describes the figure with pins in their head as a female. And with a high-pitched female voice. Pinhead was originally a female. Yeah. So I think if they do that, all the better. Plus, you can get that awesome, that sexy versus horror look. You know what I mean?
Well, and then of course in the theatrical version, he still ended up creating a Cenobite that was female and kind of sexy with like the pierce like through the lip and everything. You know, the one female Cenobite there, like femalistic Cenobite. I don't know if they're all asexual or what the hell is going on, but yeah. So I don't know. I've seen some people having mixed feelings about this, but the coolest thing is that it has been declared that this will be a theatrical release. So after slogging through so many direct-to-video bits of bullshit, that they will finally be able to, you know, I don't know. A lot of those later Halloween movies, you know, aside from the Rob Zombie stuff, was going.
So who is doing this?
David S. Goyer. There's
no, it was studio.
Studio. There is no. I didn't see anything.
So this isn't something where the same studio that owns it that's been cranking out bullshit Hellraiser after bullshit Hellraiser. This isn't another one of theirs, is it?
That's actually a good question, since they kept cranking them out because they were trying to maintain the rights. Right. Yeah,
this isn't one of those, right?
It's a completely different team behind it. Now that makes me actually curious and want to.
You want to look it up now?
In some ways, I kind of do.
All right, go ahead and check it out. Well, no. All right.
No.
Well, we'll follow up in the comments. Let's move on. I'm having a little bit of hiccupy here. So.
So
yes,
the next one,
Umbrella Academy was renewed for season 2. That happened while season 1 was still hot on the presses.
Indeed, and I loved season 1.
It was fantastic.
Academy. It was so damn good. I've actually
loved it. Even producer Dave is going through it right now.
Really? Okay. And we did the review of the first comic. We still need to, as we approach the second season, get that second series comic, and then you have the third one,
too. The third series, and I was ready to read it all. I sat down and started reading it, and then I looked at issue 6, and then I looked at the back of it, and it said to be concluded in issue 7. So they actually extended it to 7 issues. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to read it until it's done.
And I would imagine that would have something with the success of the Netflix show.
No, but the most immediate comic review that they can look out for, and we're going to shout it out. Yeah. Oh, you put them in your truck already. Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, we can still shout them out in show.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to be reviewing we're going to have 2 separate Chucky comic book series reviews. One of the reviews is going to be the 4-issue series. That was just called Chucky, put out by Devil's Due Publishing. And then there was 2 different things. There was a hack/slash Chucky comic book and a Chucky Volume 2 from Devil's Due Publishing that never went past issue number 1. We're going to do a separate review about those 2. But the interesting thing is that first Chucky series is a 4-issue. It was originally a 5-issue, but they just put issues 4 and 5 together. So it's now a 4-issue series that was literally... Yeah, it was a giant size. That's cool. Written by Brian Pulido. Friend of the show. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up. He has his hands in so many of those iconic
and it even says on issue 1, written by horror master Brian Pulido. I'm like, oh, Lord.
He really plays it up.
He does. But it was good. It was good because it was a direct sequel to Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Which I didn't remember. The events of Seed did happen, but this is literally a direct sequel to Bride of Chucky involving Jesse and Jade and the detective that gets attacked by the baby at the end of Bride of Chucky. So those reviews are going to be coming soon, leading up to the remake coming out. Just as a little interim ad for you guys. Find out what's next.
Oh, well, more remake talk, which is probably a good point for us to plug the fact that this upcoming weekend at the Phoenix Fan Fusion, we will be doing a panel all about horror remakes, which is going to be very exciting. We're going to talk about...
That's one of the 3 panels,
Yep, one of the 3 panels. We're going to talk about the ones that are coming later this year. We're going to talk about some recent favorites, some old school favorites that are at least a couple decades old, and then a film...
The most fun part is we're going to talk about the 3 movies that we would like to see remade that have not been remade yet. Yeah, going to be controversial stuff, and we'll present those panels on the channel after we actually perform them live at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Yeah, so that's going to be dope. But a remake that I've been cautiously optimistic about, but I don't know, I'm not so sold on all of the talent involved, is the fact that Jacob's Ladder, which is one of my favorite psychedelic, just like sad movies from the early 90s. I believe it was 1990 that it came out. Tim Robbins gives a fantastic performance. This was pre Shawshank Redemption, pre,
Blown Away.
What's Was he in Blown Away? No, Blown
that's
Away
Jeff
was
Bridges.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say that was just
No, Tim Robbins was the bad guy.
No,
in it,
you're thinking of Arlington Road.
Oh, that's what it
which
is.
is amazing.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, where he's
wow,
the bad
they
guy
are pretty interchangeable.
That was him and Jeff Bridges though.
Oh,
and
that's
Jeff
why.
Bridges was in Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones.
My brain just mashed them together.
His brain is blown away.
Arlington Road was good though.
I own that movie. That movie is fantastic, dude. Especially,
Confirmed.
Yeah, especially as far as like the state of like terror that just got worse and worse as years went on. Anyway, so the Tim Robbins film is a classic in my estimation. The ending, people debate about if it's dreamlike, if it's actuality, whatever. I don't know. Some of those surgical sequences, they gave me nightmares, and I still remember my father rented that when I was a kid, and it gave him nightmares. So that just...
It's one of those
just
movies
says it all.
that was one of the early twisty movies. It has that ending where you're like, oh, damn, you know? And so much so that it's become a huge meme on the How Did This Get Made podcast. Because,
really?
Yeah. Every time any movie that's a little bit weird. Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas, who was actually in John Wick 3.
And never spoke a single flippin' line. He had maybe one line.
No, he said a couple things. He was at the beginning. He was like, "Tick-tock, Mr. Wick." And then he followed him in. He's the one that led him into.
He barely had any dialogue.
Yeah,
though.
but
He was
it's
like
okay.
mostly like
he's breaking out. He's breaking out. Let him. Hey,
I
he
love
was
that.
in John Wick 3.
I love that guy.
Nonetheless,
That's why I wanted him to talk more and be funny.
Yeah, I forgot what we were even talking about.
So we were talking about Jacob's Ladder and the fact that they have
right.
Talked about
So the Jacob's Ladder scenario is something that's been brought up on How Did This Get Made?
It's the Vietnam PTSD.
Well, it's without. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a whole thing that happens in Jacob's Ladder that a lot of movies after that did. And a lot of people could say that's a Jacob's Ladder scenario. That's a Jacob's Ladder scenario.
And rightfully so, because it's a terrific movie, and I own it for a reason, man.
But
after a while, I'm okay with a different interpretation, with a different take, because as my fearless leader here always says here on the show,
cohort is fine.
Okay, my cohort conspirator.
No, stick with fearless leader.
Okay, but no, but it's the founder of the feast, Mr. Cecil Laird. No, man, as my cohort in crime here at the horror show, something that he constantly reminds us of is the fact that there's nothing that's going to take this original film you love so damn much away from you. So what's the problem with another turn of the wheel, Stephen King style? It's like a different interpretation, a different multiverse.
They're not filming the new movie on the negatives of the old one.
Yeah.
So it's okay. That old one's still going to be there. Yeah. Where everyone's okay.
And I mean, whereas the guy who penned this script, Jeff Bueller, I want to say, he also penned the Pet Sematary script. And the Pet Sematary script was actually very similar with the exception of a few like beats that were changed. This is a completely different interpretation. As opposed to being Vietnam, it's Afghanistan. It's about the fact that our main character, Jacob...
It's not completely different. Okay.
There were similarities, obviously.
Wars.
But, well, I mean, check this out, though. I was reading the synopsis because this just finally got distribution and a summer release. So, Jacob is a doctor at a VA hospital. Okay. He finds out his brother has died in Afghanistan. And so he's all torn the hell out about that. But then he finds out his brother is actually not dead. He is homeless and just kind of like hiding in different areas and taking weird experimental psychedelic drugs that were tested on him when he was in Afghanistan. And then everything gets all bonkers and reality is, misconstrued and, what is real, what is not. I don't know. I'm kind of curious about the change of scenery and, the different approach. I mean, there's obvious similarities with the psychedelic aspect.
I remember watching the movie. I've only seen the original once, and I remember watching it and really liking it.
It's terrific.
Really liking it, but I don't remember it enough at this point. I watched it maybe 10 years ago, and I can actually tell you the exact time in my life when I watched it.
Both when this
we will.
Comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't touch the microphone or I'll fucking fire you on the spot.
Guys.
Just kidding. So that'll be great, and maybe we can do an old versus new on that, and we won't call it that, but we should totally do a comparison thing like a million other channels do. Fuego, what is the next story? I know the next one is all about you, because this one is something that you're supremely excited about.
Oh, I'm stoked as hell about the fact that we finally have a
I'm gonna pour myself a shot. Would you like one?
Sure, why not?
News with booze, baby!
News with booze, baby. So
News with booze.
Yeah, there you go. So Deathgasm from Timpson Films, if I'm not mistaken. So they also did Turbo Kid. They did Summer of '84. It's kind of like a collaborative effort between New Zealand and Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, the original Deathgasm, I just showed it to a friend of mine recently, and she loved the hell out of it. I was like, it's basically like a black death metal version of Dead Alive, and she was like, oh, that's right up my fucking alley.
A friend of his.
Yeah, exactly.
Winky.
Oh, shut up.
Winky.
But, yeah, but she dug the hell out of it, and on top of that, it was really... That movie is so ridiculously violent. Like, I rewatched it recently, and just the dildo death to the mouth alone, where the crazy zombie is coming, and they
Mind that again for me?
The dildo death scene, and it's just like
no, mind it on yourself. Don't mind it on me this time. All right,
it's so violent and so silly, and then even the scenes of like the whole metallic power where the girl that our main character
to watch this. You're not supposed to be, but it helps.
It does sometimes, mostly.
All right, so
okay, so
here's the thing. Since this is on camera, I'm gonna say
right.
cheers to our awesome audience for coming back and watching us.
We love you guys.
First time News with Booze in a while, and we will get back to the other format. It's just we've been literally so busy, and that format takes a while. So we wanted to jump on and just do a regular live one for a bit. So,
well, and this one,
cheers to you guys.
This one's
to our audience.
It's a little bit more off the cuff, and
Sláinte.
we always have fun with this too when it's live. So, Mazel tov.
Yes, they are baby shots. They're half shots because we've been doing shots up until now.
Yeah. Well, when the internet was out, I mean, my God. So.
Yeah, I went off and blew off some steam in the form of this cup when the internet was out.
As I was trying to say, though, if you haven't seen Deathgasm, it's for me one of the most perfect blends of horror and comedy and metal. It's like metal is the additional...
And you liked it better than the other one that was more father-daughter centric even.
Father-daughter centric.
There was two big metal horror movies last year.
One
was Deathgasm, the other one was...
Oh, goodness.
That one was great, but it was just different. Devil's Candy.
Devil's Candy.
That was awesome, though.
I thought they were both fantastic. I can't say I necessarily like either film more than the other because...
They're two different kinds of...
That actually makes me think I need to show Katie Devil's Candy too, man. Because that movie is
We should do a straight-up comparison of those two, because they're both very metal...
They're so drastically different in tone, though, man. And
well, fuck off then, all right? I'm just trying to come up with content. You can just shoot that shit down in front of all these people, you just shut me down in front of all these people.
And besides Lords of and then it's gonna be okay, man. But between that and Lords of Chaos and all of these different viewpoints that in popular independent filmmaking to have this sort of extreme metal, it's awesome. But so there is a UK festival, which if I'm not going to do that, shout outs to our buddies like Mikey Mnemonic, Mark Pearson, Jacob Dowsey. I mean, there's so many in the King group especially that I've become acquainted with. So Manchester has this film festival, which is called Grimfest Films. It's just called Grimfest. Derps! But they have actually launched their own... News of Booze, come on. But they have launched their own film production, development, and financing company, and they're just calling it very simply Grimfest Films. And one of their first titles that they announced is that they are backing and producing and putting together Deathgasm Chapter 2. And they left it wide enough open.
It took you that long to get to that?
It did. Well, I was giving all the additional information.
No, I mean, do your thing, bro.
Well, I'm just giving a shout out to Grimfest because the next Grimfest is actually October 3rd through the 6th in Manchester. Okay. And it's
Manchester, England.
Yeah. I'm not going with United. I'm sorry, guys. But it's apparently a well-esteemed since like about a decade or so. I want to say 2008, 2009. They've been doing this film festival, and now they're trying to branch out into actually producing and distributing films, which is cool. And Deathgasm Chapter 2 is one of their first on slate from writer director Jason Laird, I want to say. But if it just maintains the same sensibilities and silliness and utterly ridiculous violence of the first film, I will be a happy camper. Did you guys see Deathgasm? Let us know in the chat what you thought as we jump over to our fifth story, which is going to be relentless Stephen King information, because there is
since this is all you and I don't have much to say, I'm just
you're just gonna be
silly. Pose.
And I'm not gonna try to, since I've talked about a few of these stories on Hail to Stephen King already, I'm just gonna breeze through them and just try to pick your brain about it as best I can. So first and foremost, with the success of the Pet Sematary remake that Jeff Bueller, guy who did Jacob's Ladder, which I don't know, man. He also wrote The Prodigy. He also wrote, I guess Midnight Meat Train was pretty good.
Midnight Meat Train was great.
He also wrote that too.
Okay.
So Jeff
I'm okay with
Bueller,
that.
he is the one who scripted this Pet Sematary remake, and him and some of the producers were basically talking about ideas for follow-up spin-offs, whatever, and they're like, well, we feel like a sequel, like Mary Lambert did previously, is not necessary. We need to do a prequel. We need to, like, follow a young Judd. We need to go
with his dog and everything. That would be dope.
Or we need to go way, way back to the Micmac stuff. I mean,
that's too far back.
I don't know. How far we going back? Way back. I mean, I honestly even proposed this on one of the Stephen King live streams when I did a little AMA bit at the end, and somebody was like, "What should they do with Pet Sematary?" And I was like,
"This is gonna be hammered."
And I was like, "I'm honestly wondering." Every time Stephen King has said, "Okay, well, I'm going to stop saying Stephen King."
Dope.
Yeah, I'm going to stop saying El Rey. That's different. I'm going to find my way around it. But
wait, in before, what does that stand for? That's an internet term I haven't seen.
I don't know. I don't.
Cecil forgets he has knife hands and blood is spilled. Well, possibly.
Okay. Well, somebody says Deathgasm. Deathgasm is basically a death / black metal comedy horror film that came out a few years ago, and it's about these dudes that steal a bit of music which has like satanic connotations, and they try to record it. And when they make the attempt at recording it, playing it, and all that other stuff, they rise the dead from their graves, and it turns into a straight up like zombie movie. But like more so like Dead Alive zombie, since it was a New Zealand co-production.
I didn't even remember that was the case.
Yeah.
That's
what happens.
I need to rewatch. I honestly want to own both because I really had fun with Deathgasm.
Deathgasm is great, man.
But honestly, I have to say I like Devil's Candy better. It just stuck with me more.
Well, that was more of like hit you in the feels, like the monster status. It's like would I like to watch the monster or would I like to watch
Shaun of the Dead, Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yeah, something like that. I was trying to think of another silly monster movie, but
The Host.
Yeah.
Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome, Maximilian.
Yeah, totally,
we aim to please.
But so, would you guys be down with, since I have to go...
let's not use the Freddy glove to control.
Since I have to go lightning round with all the Stephen King stuff here, that's where I have to inquire, is it... is there any interest from all of you in doing a Pet Sematary prequel? Because unlike with the source material, where everybody wants to see, a follow-up story with Ellie and everything, well, they changed that whole dynamic.
Thank you, Robert. Big fan.
Change that whole dynamic and close that proverbial circle if we're gonna close the stand. Yeah,
he's a good guy.
He's local, dude.
I know.
Yeah,
I met him.
Yeah,
hung out with him.
Dude, he's great. He works.
He had Susie and I over at one of his parties, and he lent me a bunch of DVDs that I still have yet to get back to. But they're in a pile for Susie. But Robert's a great guy.
Last time I saw Robert,
shout out to Robert Duell. He's an awesome dude.
No, he's red status. Last time I saw him, I was playing a show with Chiron, and I want to say we were opening for All Hail the Yeti, maybe.
All Hail the Yeti!
They're satanic. They're crazy. At Joe's Grotto.
Satanic? So, the Satanic Temple, who we have 3 episodes coming out about just a week from now?
And I'm actually, I'm going to take said Chica to...
Oh, you are?
Yeah, well, because it's playing at Film Bar all week.
Oh, okay.
And she really wants to see it.
Okay,
so, yeah, I'm
cool.
going to take her on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I'm friends with Michelle on Facebook now.
She friended me too. Yeah.
We like them.
Yeah, they're cool. They're super cool. So, yeah, Stephen King lineup, roundup, lightning round, Pet Sematary prequel. Who's down with this idea? Next thing that we actually got was, so there was an event in Minnesota that I was really, really excited to go to.
Did you hear anything about it?
I was really, really excited to go to. And I ended up canceling the trip to go.
But you haven't even watched how good the vlog is.
It was going to be my... Yes, I have.
So worth
I told you I watched it.
Oh, that vlog you did.
Yeah,
you
that
didn't
vlog
watch the
I
set
watched.
visit vlog.
That's
right.
So...
that vlog was worth it, though, right?
That was the following weekend, though. Yeah.
No, I'm saying the Texas Frightmare vlog, that was worth the wait, right? Yeah. That was worth... Yeah, I know. I'm putting him on the spot.
Yeah, he is. So I had...
Sure.
So Texas
Frightmare
was...
I wouldn't rather have seen Stephen King live.
Texas Frightmare was the first weekend of May, and Stephen King was doing this,
your nose is a little long here. Let me just... Pinocchio'd there for a minute.
Well, and Pinocchio, Carlo Collodi, shout out, motherfucker. That's actually one of my favorite books of all time. If you have never read the source material, that is Carlo Collodi's Pinocchio.
Stumbled onto something there.
He is literally a little shit. He kills Jiminy Cricket.
Holy crap, dude!
He kills Jiminy Cricket, man, and he finds himself.
This isn't the killing your childhood.
I would so love to review Pinocchio on this. My God, it's so good. It's so good.
Do it.
It was serialized by Collodi.
Show him what's what.
And so there's a reason why each chapter ends with Pinocchio pretty much on the verge of death, whether he's being hung or whether there's like a sea monster, like big, like, I don't know, green giant status dude who wants to boil him and eat him, and the Monstro stuff. I mean, yeah. Anyway,
Monstro.
I've officially fell on a tangent, but so Stephen King, he was doing this book fair thing, and he was also playing with the Rock Bottom Remainders, which is his musical group. They hadn't played live in God knows how long. So the initial plan was to go to Minnesota, second week of May, but there was just, I don't know, there was too many moving parts, not enough travel dinero and all that other stuff. And so Frightmare, I had a blast, and I'm not going to lament that any further for doing that instead. But King announced his newest book. So we still don't even have The Institute yet, which is coming out in September of 2019 of this year, described as Firestarter meets Stand By Me.
How many pages do you read a day? How long does it take you to finish a Stephen King book that comes out, depending on length?
I mean, I always read at least like 50 to like 70, sometimes close to 100 pages, and that's like 2 to 3 hours.
Does he reveal how long they're going to be before they drop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So how long is The Institute going to be?
It's like, I want to say 7 and some change, but I would have to double check.
So it's going to take you like 3 days, 4 days? No,
I'm going to try to read it as quickly as possible to get the review up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, when that comes out, like, do you just put everything like the way I used to when Harry Potter would come out? Like, just the world has gone away. I am now in the Wizarding world.
well, thankfully, when Elevation came out, which is the most recent Stephen King release, which I was disappointed with, I'll be honest, but it was a novella, but it was a novella with illustrations, and it was like small little framing and stuff. And so it was over 100 pages. I want to say it was close to 2, but with the small amount of text on each page, I read that in an afternoon, filmed the review, and put it up that same night that it was released. So the day it hit shelves. Ideally, I would love to have it out the same week, because there's some days where if I have a day off, I will dedicate like 6-7 hours and read 200 pages of a book. If I'm that into it, I will just crank it.
A good book deserves it, though. Yeah, a good book deserves it.
It does. But we got the announcement at that Minnesota event from Cy King himself at the fact that If It Bleeds is going to be his next book, which he's already pretty much finished writing.
But that's part of the Mr. Mercedes stuff, right?
Well, it's tied. So, Holly Gibney, who is like one of King's best characters that he has created in this last decade, if not, in the entire new millennium. She's eccentric and kind of, nerd-tastic and whatnot, and she's Bill Hodges' like sidekick partner.
Is she the one that was surrounded? The last offshoot was surrounded by
The Outsider.
Yeah.
She was basically brought in as a supporting character in The Outsider to help with trying to find the shapeshifter.
So is she going to be the main character?
She is finally, for the first time, going to be a main character.
And you're excited about this?
I'm stoked because Holly is just so endearing and so.
Did Marsha read The Outsider? I know she read the Mr. Mercedes trilogy.
I believe she read The Outsider, and The Outsider is actually about to be a television series on HBO next year with Mads Mikkelsen.
Literally everything Stephen King.
And
Stephen King is just sitting in his study, like counting money at this point.
Mr. Burns style, man.
Good God.
Yeah, but
tweeting that every movie adaptation is the best one ever.
Yeah,
including the Dark Tower. Yeah, we were both bitter about that.
Well, me so much more.
Well, fair enough, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So
no, wait, man, it was just as.
So he has already announced the 2020 book. He doesn't have like a release date or anything, but he made the announcement at this book festival, and it's apparently called "If It Bleeds," and it's tying in with that old saying. Well, that old saying. No, actually, it's a journalistic saying. If it bleeds, it leads.
Oh, if it bleeds, it leads. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's apparently going to be centered specifically on Holly. So she's going to be the main character. And then the villainous, antagonist, whatever, is going to be this vampiric journalist that, as he's covering stories that have just this negative energy and death and, horrible shit going down, he almost like feeds off of that negative energy in some sort of vampiric sort. So when he covers these negative stories, it gives
like
him
every
power.
Story, you mean?
In this day and age, it kind of seems like it, right? Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I want to sign a petition and remake the entire 8th season.
Dave, that's not the saying. I think Dave's referring to the saying when we worked at Blockbuster or Marble Slab.
If it leans,
it cleans.
If you got time to lean, you got time
not
to
if it
clean.
bleeds, it leads. If it leans, it cleans. Dave. Oh,
that's funny.
Poor guy.
So, yes, new Cy King novel already announced when we don't even have The Institute, which is coming in September of this year. He also was on the Postmortem podcast, which is Mick Garris's podcast.
Okay.
And Mick Garris was the director of various Cy King projects. Like, he did Sleepwalkers with him. He did boy, he did the Shining television thing. He did Desperation. He also was the curator of Masters of Horror. So he was the EP.
He also
was the
directed
developer.
one of the segments in Nightmare Cinema, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. Yeah, he did the wraparound stuff.
Oh no!
I know, right?
That was like part of the weakest stuff.
I know. Mick Garris isn't always like on point, but the greatest thing that he ever did was directing the television version of The Stand, and so the reason he had Cy King
One more shot. Wences, I agree. I'm listening for you.
Well, the reason he had Cy King on his podcast was because of the fact that this past month, we celebrated the 25th.
That's the camera, not me.
Okay. This past month, I was trying to make sure he was listening. He's just like walking away. Just walk away, and we'll spare your lives. Just walk away.
Works, son.
Yeah, mine don't work as well from all the years of smashing the skins and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Smashing the skin.
Drummer.
Banging all those ladies, you mean?
No, not at all. What are you talking about? The 25th anniversary of The Stand is this year.
I don't smash those skins.
Is this year? No, I don't smash that skin.
Not those skins.
No way, bro.
I smash my own skins legally, and not in a Me Too way at all.
Backtracking, damage control right here. But yeah, so 25th anniversary of Mick Garris's miniseries adaptation of The Stand. It was an 8-hour event, but it was 8 hours with commercials, so it only ends up to like 6 and some change when you're thinking about the actual runtime. But Stephen King, when he was having, like, he Skyped in to Garris's show, and they did an hour-long podcast, and it's really fantastic and fascinating hearing them recall the entirety of the experience of doing that television series. Talking
One of
about
these days, he's one of our white whales, man, getting him on the show.
Well, there was one.
That was the most frustrated sigh. Like, that's like his goal.
There was one particular point a couple months ago where after I hit episode 150, a lot of the Hail Katet in the Facebook group, they all started tweeting at King because I tweeted at King, and like Mark Pearson tweeted at King, and like dope. All these other people.
We need a bigger ground.
I was trying to mobilize, man.
We need a bigger ground swell.
I know. So
we can do it though. We can do it.
It just needs to continue growing. But
we'll get it there.
But no, King was just talking about the fact that he's very excited for this new adaptation that's going to be on CBS All Access because first and foremost, he said CBS All Access is not stuck within the constraints of network television like he was on ABC with The Stand because he wrote the script for the Stand miniseries. And I know you've watched some of the Twilight Zone, and they're pretty much like R-rated, right? I mean, as far as like themes and I mean, do they drop F-bombs?
No.
Well, he was basically saying that they are giving them like full creative range.
If they did, it's like 1 or 2. It's within the PG-13 realm.
Well, he has at least gone on record to proclaim that they are not being given the same sort of network constraints they had previously. It's going to be 10 episodes as opposed to, a 4-night event. And he's just very excited about the, possibility of what they can do with this new adaptation. Josh Boone, he's been trying to get Revival off the ground for the longest time. He also did The Fault in Our Stars. So you don't really look back at The Stand quite as fondly as me. I know this to be true.
No, I like The Stand. Not as fondly as you. I mean, it's a tough ass to have anyone recall any Stephen King as fondly as you.
That's America's ass.
What? No, it's not at all. No,
I'm kidding.
That's an
Endgame reference.
No, I get it, but it's
like, that's
severely out of place. But okay.
Okay, sure, why not?
So anyway, no, I don't even remember where we started because of that Endgame ass thing. What was the?
He started thinking about that cap.
No, what were you saying? I mean,
I was talking about.
It is America's ass.
Yes, it is indeed. No, I was just talking about just remake versus the original and the constraints that The Stand had when Mick Garris was making it initially.
Well, of course there were restraints because it was a TV movie and B, limited. But it was still pretty effectively quote unquote gory without it being uber bloody. There was the bodies were not pleasant to look at,
and that's what they talk about in the podcast.
But I do think that it's gonna. But just like it. The Stand is going to benefit from the ability to do all of that stuff and make it as gruesome as they need to.
And the fact that TV now can be theater quality.
Dude, listen, I am the biggest proponent of remakes and reboots of anyone that you'll probably ever find because all I seek to do is be entertained. If I'm entertained, I don't even necessarily care that it doesn't live up to the original or that blah, 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 it doesn't respect the spirit of the original. Whatever. If they're doing something different, fine. I'm okay with things doing something different. I was fine with the Pet Sematary difference because it's a different movie. I've been fine with other differences because I still have those old movies to go back to if I really want. I don't want them to remake it the exact same way. I want to see something different. I want to see something interesting. And so, and I would much rather have an opportunity at another great entry in a long-running series. People are like, don't do a new Nightmare movie. Don't do a new Friday the 13th movie. Well, look at what happened when they did a new Halloween movie. Like, all of these people, all of these old slashers, yeah, but a lot of people really like the movie, too. The movie, I thought, had some to be desired, but it was a better return to form than a lot of those sequels ever were.
True,
and I think that that one, even to us, Marcia and I, when we ranked it, it was in our top 3. So absolutely, we're happy that Halloween 2018 was made because it's now in our top 3 of Halloween movies. Of a lot of them. So, like, that wouldn't have happened if people were so against remakes. Like, that's what I say about remakes. The bottom line about remakes to me is, A, you either get a chance at having another entry in a series that you really love that you'll go back and watch over and over again, or B, you hate it and you never watch it again.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's literally the extent of it. Like, it's as simple as that. If you don't like it, never watch it again. If you do like it, boom, you have a new entry into your favorite franchise.
So what are the chances?
Why hate on it? I don't get it. Anyway. Sorry.
So what are the chances of a girl like you and a guy... Anyway. I
What?
totally mucked up the Dumb and Dumber quote. Anyway.
Okay.
So last bit of the King Roundup is going to be the fact that we have a new novel, which has been announced, a new novella, which is basically something you're not going to be that familiar with, so I'm just going to graze over it.
It's a long King Roundup.
Well, dude, there was a ton of stories.
I know.
Redonkulous status. So there's something called Gwendy's Magic Feather, which is coming out. It's a sequel to
Gwendy's Button Box?
But yet this one is not written by Stephen King. This is the first time where he is giving his buddy Richard Chizmar from Cemetery Dance, and you know how much I am like, you know... like at the throne of the balls of Cemetery.
I was like, it doesn't look like at the throne. It looks like you were ready to
balls on the chin, balls on the chin. Yeah. He's basically giving Chizmar free range to write a
it is
Castle
okay,
Rock
Ben Grimm, I'm calling bullshit on that. How is it taking money from the original movies? The original movies came out years and years and years ago. How is it taking money from the original movies? No, it's giving more money to the original movies because people that watch them want to go watch the original now.
Well, and they also...
I call BS. Ben Grimm, I love you. I really do. You've been a long-time supporter of the channel.
I met him
but I disagree. I know, and I somehow missed it. I'm really bummed about that, quite honestly. I know.
You didn't want to go to.
Because I was busy trying to handle shit, but it's okay. It's a communication breakdown. Breakdown! No. Go ahead, give it to me.
Communication breakdown! It's
okay, yeah, I went Tom Petty, you went Led Zeppelin. All right.
Yes, exactly. No, but I mean...
Opposites attract.
Yes, they do. No, but I'm actually going to side with Cecil on this one, Ben, because they always...
What?
Well, they always re-release the original film at the same time of the new one coming out anyway, and it just drums up support
the Pet Sematary 4K release came out. Yeah. I mean,
and same with
it does. It brings in more money for them.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the
Ben. You just got roasted. No, don't look at it like that, Maximilian.
We love you, man.
Oh shit! I hope it didn't come off that way.
No, that wasn't.
That was a respectful disagreement.
That's why we're.
I love you, Ben.
That's why we're backpedaling. That's why we're backpedaling.
Ben, I'm so sorry. Ben, please forgive me. Ben, don't hold it against me. So
yeah, Gwendy's Button Box sequel. You know, I was not too incredibly
a bear and a twink band. Wences, you're walking on thin ice, buddy. All right.
Too funny.
Movies with the original ideas, not remakes.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's changing his tune. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I can feel that.
I'm playing.
But I was not really very impressed with Gwendy's Button Box, in all honesty. It just didn't feel very inspired.
I agree. It didn't feel very inspired.
It didn't felt well because of the felt that there was. Anyway, it has
There's felt in the movie.
It has Flag in it, you know, but Flag is going under another pseudonym.
Really, Flag is in Gwendy's Button Box.
He just calls himself Richard Ferris, just like with so many.
So how do you know it's Flag?
RF. He uses so many different
Randall
aliases.
Flag, Richard Ferris.
Richard Ferris. Yeah, and he goes up and he wants to have some palaver with this.
This is why I haven't canceled Hail to Stephen King yet.
In 1974, and so this new story. So this new story is apparently taking place 25 years after she was given this little box that basically had all the continents on the world on it, and she could basically, through her personal power.
Thank you, Sam.
Make a catastrophic event transpire on different continents, and then she would get like a little piece of candy. It was a weird story.
Best
I
part of
want
Predator 2.
candy, bubble gum, and
I want
taffy.
candy.
I'm singing Aqua Teen over here. I don't know what you're singing.
No, first off, I started with Predator 2.
I didn't even know that we were doing this one.
All right, want some candy?
Sure. Do you guys want some cookies? But yeah, so this is King's first time actually giving somebody else free range to write a story within his universe. So Chismar is writing a sequel because he's the guy from Cemetery Dance who co-wrote it with Steve.
Okay.
He's writing this new one all on his own. And King is doing a foreword, but he's just letting...
I don't see why there's any reason why not.
Well, I mean, if they're going to let people make a Castle Rock TV series and Play in the Playground and all these other just adaptations, I guess why the hell wouldn't you? I didn't like Wendy's Button Box that much, so that's the only reason why I'm kind of hesitant to read this. And there were some people in the Hail Quartet group talking mad shit about this.
Shout out the Hail Quartet. What is the Hail Quartet you keep referring to?
The Hail Quartet is the Hail to Stephen King Facebook group where we talk all things Cy King all the time, on the daily. And there's, I mean, we do branch out to some Joe Hill stuff, to some Owen stuff, and a little bit of Tabby, his wife. But
Facebook.com/Hail to Stephen King? Just search Hail to Stephen King. You'll find it.
Honestly, if you just search Hail to Stephen King, I'm not sure of the exact URL but if you just searched it on Facebook, if you want to have palaver with fellow constant readers and viewers and stuff alike, it's a closely knit quartet, less than 500 people on there. But
you just did an episode about this. Mystique Echelon says Rose Madder could be apropos and great considering the Me Too movement. Do you agree?
Which is why I'm so shocked they still haven't announced that, because when I did a Most Wanted adaptations video,
you think Rose Madder was on it?
It was definitely on it.
Oh, okay.
Rose Madder I have championed so many times because it's about this woman. It's about this woman
I
who's
didn't know. I apologize for not watching every episode. I'm so sorry.
Rose Madder is terrific, though, and it would be so prolific for the current just social climate in the fact that, I mean, for anybody who isn't familiar with this particular mid-90s King book, it's about this woman who has an abusive police officer for a husband, and she finally decides to leave him. And she goes off on her own, and he is like tracking her down, dude. And he is like on her trail, but yet it has some multiverse connections in the fact that she buys this painting from like a roadside, like, I don't know, trinket shop or boutique or whatever. And the painting is essentially, it has some.
So it becomes Velvet Buzzsaw.
Well, it essentially becomes a portal, this painting.
Okay.
A portal into Midworld where the Dark Tower takes place. The book has some Dark Tower connections, which is what's especially cool about it. And we actually meet the chick whose name is totally eluding me. When she gets to this woman's shelter, there is this punk rock chick. And she's a main character in Desperation. And it just really pisses me off that her name is eluding me thanks to News of Booze. But it's...
sure, blame the booze.
Well... Yeah, I mean, I've talked about her countless times. Yeah, she's in the great adaptation of Desperation that Mick Garris did and everything. And so, long story short, I love Rose Madder, and it's one along with Revival and Doomickey that I'm just like anxiously awaiting an adaptation. I'm like, why haven't these happened yet? And Rose Madder with the social significance needs to be.
Dad, what's up?
Needs to be. It needs to go down, but. I think that pretty much wraps everything up with the exception of...
Holy crap, really? Story 5 is finally done?
Well, it was a roundup, and we just kept meandering and going, and you grabbed another shot and all this other stuff.
I know. Having fun, bro.
If you want to hear more about... So the only other thing I would mention is that The Eyes of the Dragon coming to Hulu. If you want to see that, it was the most recent Hail to Stephen King episode, so if you want to just get all of the information about that, I'll just give Cecil just a little throw at real quick. So, Eyes of the Dragon, it's basically a YA game of... It's like a YA Game of Thrones. In the fact that
I tried to read it a long time ago.
It's medieval,
Sure.
it's fantasy,
Yeah.
it's a quick read.
Again, Randall Flagg, the bad guy.
Randall Flagg, the bad guy. Yes, this guy knows his shit. I knew this to be true.
Search your feelings. You know this to be true.
Well, dude, it's only like a 300-page book.
No,
and
I never did actually finish it. No.
So if they're going to do a 10-episode Hulu
if I can make it one of my Audible downloads, I'll absolutely listen to it.
You should. They have a great...
Is there dragons?
They have a great Audible version of it. Ironically enough, there is only...
I can't stand a book called Eyes of the Dragon without a fucking dragon in it.
Well, there is a dragon that is killed in it, and there is also dragon scale used as a poison at one particular point.
No, that doesn't.
But they're not prevalent within it.
Son of a bitch.
Well, and also the Eyes of the Dragon.
Willis Screedia!
Woo!
That's all I'm saying about him.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, your dude.
What?
Our
dude?
I'm just fucking around.
Our dude?
He knows. I'm being a bitch.
What's up, CP? How you
Being
doing,
a bitch. It's all right. What up, CP?
Yay.
I forgot his name. All right, go ahead.
No, but also the story of the Eyes of the Dragon. So after, just to give some brief perspective, father of these two sons, both of which are like heirs to be king, father kills a dragon, and it's like his crowning moment, and he obviously cuts off the head of the dragon, and he puts it up as like a trophy.
Obviously, who wouldn't?
Yeah, who the hell wouldn't? And he puts it up as a
I'd fucking mount if I had a.
And he puts it up as a trophy in his like throne room of sorts.
It's the one bummer about not being still talking to Rob Kibosky. He literally could have done a dragon mount for the fucking show.
And I'm remembering when we toured his studio. Oh my god! That guy is.
I might have to reach out.
He wants to, dude. He still wants to do a sweet sequel.
No, I'm not gonna reach out for that. I'm gonna reach out for Dragon Head.
I want to do a sweet sequel.
Oh, well, I do too. All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, but
Buzz Cecil is awesome. This is what we call "fuck yeah, Cecil."
Yeah,
Susie named me "fuck yeah, Cecil." Drunk Cecil equals "fuck yeah, Cecil." So that's what you're seeing right now is "fuck yeah, Cecil."
But so after he kills said dragon, slices off the head, trophy status, but it gets the name "The Eyes of the Dragon" for this book because of the fact that their kingdom has a secret passageway.
Your dragon is a metaphor. CP said the dragon is a metaphor. Dino said your dragon is a metaphor.
Oh, of course it is. But the dragon's head is like hollowed out, and there's a secret passageway in the castle that the king lives in, where you basically go up to this like secret little spot, and you look through the eyes of the dragon, and it's almost like a secret peephole to see what's going on in the room. Okay. And that's where one of the sons sees his father all drunk and acting like an idiot, and yeah, spying on his father, man. And so, yes, this is going to be a Hulu show, and if you want the full just dissertation about my feelings about it, but Hulu show, Fox 21 producing, and Seth Grahame-Smith, who a lot of people have mixed feelings about because of the fact that that's the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies / Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter guy. Okay. He wrote both of those books. He shifted into doing like big screen things. He did Dark Shadows and few other things. Yeah, he's got diminishing returns, but I still personally think that him as a writer and showrunner of this, there is possibility, and yeah, I'm excited about it. So, 25 minutes later, final story.
Oh my god! Is that how long that was?
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track.
Holy shitballs!
The King Roundup just kept going and going, like Energizer Bunny status, yo.
Horrific Harry is jealous, Wences? No, I can share my bitterness.
Horrific Harry is... No, that's what...
I'll be Wences' bear. Long distance hug. It's Wences' birthday. Happy birthday, Wences.
Yeah, Feliz cumpleaños, Long distance hug. I'm telling you, man. Thanks so very much for the
Imagine your fuego.
Greatly appreciated. Oh my god! My ribs are being crushed.
I'm being crushed. All right, last story.
So we reported a couple months ago during one of the previous News with Booze segments about the fact that James Wan was rumored to be producing under his Atomic Monster.
I didn't even want to report on it because it was like a too good to be true scenario.
Yeah, and I was the one who pushed. I'm like, Cecil, we're going to talk about it. And you're like, dude, it's...
No!
And it wasn't even like a big confirmed story like Robert Pattinson for Batman came from...
That isn't even confirmed.
But
He's
that
one of two.
It came from Deadline. Deadline
but
is not
one of two. Him and Nicholas Hoult.
Okay, Cody Leach. Thank you very much.
Just saying. Why, did you get a comment from him?
Not comment from him, but I if Collider and a few other reputable sources are running...
One of two is all I'm saying. One of two. You jumped on it.
No,
you jumped on that clickbait.
No, Deadline...
Woo! Yeah! I'm riding that clickbait. Woo!
Deadline got an exclusive, and all the other fuckers were pissed off that they did not get the exclusive.
Just saying.
And so that's why they're all just like, oh, no, it's not finalized yet, so jump over and read our stories and give us the clicks. That's exactly what happened there. Robert Pattinson is your new fucking Batman. That is totally... You know that
for sure. Him and Nicholas Hoult.
Okay, I will make a bet with you right now.
I'm just saying, right now, the official word is between him and Nicholas Hoult. No?
Because Warner Brothers...
Yes or no?
Because Warner Brothers
hasn't
issued the confirmation...
Yes or no? Is that the case?
We don't know. Robert Pattinson is going to be your Batman.
Oh, come on.
Deadline is as reputable as they come. Deadline and THR are pretty much...
Okay, picking the mic. Jesus Christ.
Who said that?
CP's fucking criticizing as we're going. It's the first News with Booze in months, and he's giving a shit about it.
It's all constructive,
though. Allow me. Hey, CP, go fuck yourself. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Go ahead.
No, but all I'm saying is that, well, you know what? I'm not going to talk about. We're not here to talk about Batman.
I need another drink. Go ahead.
All right.
Carry on.
Yeah.
CP's busting my balls.
We'll carry on. Okay. So we were supremely hopeful that James Wan and this dream project was actually going to transpire.
Producer Dave is producing.
We have apparent producer Dave off camera making his way in. So I'm just going to continue and say that the James Wan Atomic Monster seemed too good to be true. But he has his hands in so many properties now with this company, including Swamp Thing for DC, The Trench, all the Conjuring stuff. I mean, Wan is a very busy guy at this point, man. He is just ridiculously busy.
Producer Dave is producing. I was only allowed to put this much in my cup.
And so for that reason...
He literally came inside, no, you're cut off.
He's like, no, no, this ain't happening. This is not transpiring. But it's just interesting for the sheer fact that I was not sure this was actually going to see fruition, but now we have complete confirmation in the fact that there are various press releases going out that not only do we have a release date, which is ironically March 5th, 2021, the same day that the Masters of the Universe film is going to be coming out. Somebody is going to be switching a release date. Will is CP, I know we will be talking about this at some point in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be talking about it on CP's show every Monday. Catch that.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Beyond that, though, March 5th, 2021, I don't know, man. There is a shoot confirmed in Australia that's going to be starting later this year. And it's a real deal. This shizzle is officially transpiring. We don't know if it's going to be R-rated and really go for it like the Legacy series did or not. But,
fuck you, Dino.
But I'm really, really supremely excited to see what transpires. It's with this particular region of Australia where they're going to be filming it. I always forget that James Wan is from Australia. And yet it's reminded to me constantly by Lou and various other people. It's the biggest production that has been put together by this particular state in Australia. And yeah, I hope it's big budget, violent, badass, and all kinds of awesomeness. And so
love you too, Dino.
So
love you too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat. Still the best video game ever. I don't care what all the Detective Pikachu people say.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm Maximilian. Let me translate. Wences says you're cut off when your toilet seat says you're cut off. No, Dino, you'd appreciate it too much. No, so that means when you're throwing up and you're facing the porcelain god, that's the time at which you cut yourself off.
The description of the porcelain god. Good times, good times.
Fucking assholes.
So yeah, guys, are you excited about this new incarnation of Mortal Kombat? I know Mortal Kombat 11 is being heavily celebrated, although some of my friends were telling me, they're like, dude, X is way better. Why the hell are
because
you even...
this has become more of a technical... Mm-hmm. This is why I didn't pick it up, honestly. All the reviews I said, it's a lot of fun, but it's much more of a technical Mortal Kombat game. It's not a button masher. Now you need to go through the tutorial, and the tutorial gets so in depth that it literally tells you how many frames. You have 5 frames for this kick. You know what I mean? It tells you how to get better and stuff, but it's that's not why I play Mortal Kombat. I'm not trying to become a tournament champion. I'm just trying to have fun with my friends.
I'm not trying to go to the Phoenix Comic Fan Function.
No, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn 18 different characters, specific fucking combos and stuff. No, I got time for that.
No, this man.
I got time for that.
This guy's running a show, for God's sake. It's come on, man.
Oh, Dino might pop a hemorrhoid. Boy, he's sticking with that. He wants to sit on this. Look. I'm not going to get into it.
We love Dino. Come on.
No, I love Dino and I love CP. I don't necessarily love the way things happen, but that's okay. I'm not going to spill the tea. You're not getting any tea spillage on this episode, so.
I love movies.
Punch you in the face. Thank you guys very much for... don't fucking do that. Oh my God. I will snap your neck on camera and no one will blame me for it. Thank you guys very much for watching. That's going to do it for this week's episode of News with Booze. I might have to go take care of something off camera, but on camera after this, so we'll see what happens. No, it's cool. We're all good.
Smash!
We're all good. I've had some drinks and I'm riled up, so I'm trying to, We won't snap your neck, Fuego.
We
won't snap your neck, Fuego. Come join our show. Yeah, that already fucking happened, CP. What are you fucking dick? Anyway, moving right along.
You can be on various shows.
Oh,
go back to the comments and read the questions. There's a bunch of questions.
Are there? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go back all the way through.
Okay, Dave's producing. He says I have a bunch of questions to go
Dave
through.
is producer.
So I guess I'll do that. Oh, everything
actually
was fine.
doesn't look like there was that.
There weren't that many questions. I don't know what he's talking about. Have you guys seen Brightburn? Mauricio asked. No, we have not seen Brightburn. That's handled by Fingerpaint, not Allied, so we did not get access to that movie.
Although press hasn't even happened yet, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not... Till...
Oh, no, you're right. That is actually Allied. We are supposed to hear from them on that.
Yeah.
We are going to see it early, but we're not going to see it as early as a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, they did like a world premiere kind of thing the other day, and that's where some of the journalists were.
Trying to find these questions.
Okay, I saw one. Do you guys ever... Scroll back up just...
Do you guys ever release footage of the Hellraiser experience? No, we're not allowed.
Yeah, unfortunately, since our...
Sorry, Arcane Nebula.
Yeah,
oh, wait, no, Adam Snugs.
Yeah,
Arcane
homies at
right
Mad
above.
Monster will not let us do that. All the behind-the-scenes stuff, like... He cut a commercial for them, like a little promo.
No, that's still on the channel. You can still see that.
That's still on the channel.
We are just not allowed to release any footage from the actual Hellraiser experience.
I wonder if we could release that privately on the Patreon.
No.
No.
That's
a good question.
No.
Are the John Wick movies worth watching? I got the first 2 on Blu-ray. Wences,
if you liked 1 and 2, then 3 is absolutely worth watching.
Yeah, it's like 3 is the most check your brain in at the door. It's not a revenge tale like the first 2. Third one is just really... paper thin story. Everybody's trying to kill John Wick, so John Wick's gonna kill everybody who's trying to kill him. That's pretty much it. Although the ending, were you surprised by at the very end?
The lack of ending?
Well, no, the very end. Well, Ian McShane, were you surprised by that? I was. I guess. Especially after all the loyalty.
I guess.
The loyalty. Oh, okay. I don't want to spoil anything.
It's all about number 1. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit spoilery to talk about.
It is. So I guess I can't mention that.
All right. What We Do in the Shadows was a great, silly monster movie. Yeah, we loved it on the channel.
Oh, in before means, like, you're predictive. In before this happens.
Oh, I was wondering about that. That's what I figured.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You don't actually scratch your face and forget that you have the claw on.
Oh.
So I wanted to be in before that, actually.
Sam Power asks, is the new Twilight Zone any good? Cecil's the only one of our team.
Here's the thing. I enjoy it, but I never watched the original. And a lot of people that have watched the original absolutely hate the new one. Including Lisa from Lisa Loves Reviews.
Yeah, she's super cool.
I'm a big fan of hers. Yeah, she's Irish, and her kid actually has a little YouTube channel, too. So I like Lisa Loves a lot. She does not like it, though.
Okay. Well, it's more so Black Mirror type, right? Kind of. Or
what are we talking about?
A cute
Twilight Zone.
No, I mean it's the Twilight Zone. Every episode's a different Twilight Zone thing. It's not technology based necessarily.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was trying to clarify.
No, it's not technology.
Because that's the one thing about Black Mirror is it's always.
Do you want me to hold him? Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, Black Mirror is all about in the not so distant future, right? And that's the one thing that is like distinguished that.
All right, so I don't see all these other questions Dave's talking about.
You guys mentioned cutesy monster movies and you forgot Grabbers.
Oh, well, Grabbers was...
it's a great Irish movie.
I don't think we were going through cutesy monster movies.
No,
didn't you review it?
Yeah, we reviewed Grabbers. Susie and I,
Yeah, before
we did a spoiler and a non-spoiler review.
Before I joined the channel, that was... Coons TikTok, the Meg series says
it's the Trench movie is coming. Well, there's a sequel to Meg coming. I don't know that it's going to be based on the Trench book. I would be very surprised if it was.
I see. Okay, Trench movie's coming.
Yeah.
Well, and I mentioned the Trench because I was mentioning the Aquaman spinoff. So,
yeah. Cecil, have you played Days Gone? No, I have not. I have not seen a single channel playing Days Gone. No one worth watching at all has played Days Gone on YouTube. Definitely don't check out any channels that may have...
No.
CP played Days Gone. So...
Don't do it.
Is that another...
No, Will Escredia played Days Gone. He has a few Let's Played of Days Gone.
Is that another zombie one?
Yeah, it's a zombie one. It's with it's the same guy that was in the Jedi games, the Force Unleashed games. Sam Witwer, who was also
he
was also in the American remake of the Vampire Werewolf Ghost show.
Dude, and he also does so many different voices for the Clone Wars and
he's
the Rebels
in Days
show.
Gone. He's the main guy in Days Gone.
That guy's awesome. And on
Sam
Collider,
Witwer.
dude, on Collider, he was.
I like that Dave was just so bored outside that he's just like.
No, I wanted to bring this up.
Piloting Scary Terry.
Wait,
Scary Terry. What is his name? Scare Bear. Thank you.
Scare Bear. Yeah.
I wanted to say something.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Anthony DeCharo said that your guys' Star Wars reaction is the top 5 best YouTube has to offer.
Really? Oh, because Fuego was so drunk.
I thought that was really nice.
That's not fun.
Thank you very much. No, I appreciate that.
I don't.
Fuego, why not? You don't appreciate the... That's the thing. Like,
Because I had done my separate solo review earlier in the day, and then...
You had started drinking before you even knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
like, you were
because
just at home drinking, and suddenly
was.
I'm like, hey, let's do a reaction. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, because we had been at the festival all day, remember? And then that was like I had done.
Oh,
the
that's
reaction.
right. Yeah, you must have got home and immediately started.
I did the reaction that morning,
back.
and then I drove back, and then I reviewed 2 movies by myself, and then you showed up, and then we did like 3 more, and then I went home, and I was just like, ugh, and chased the hair, and I started drinking, and then you were just like, hey, did you not forget that you were going to be reviewing this? And I was like, okay, sure. So I was coherent at the beginning, and I still remember CP's comment on. He's like, wow, my God, you. Yeah.
When you've had enough to drink, it's very apparent. It just slides downwards like you're on a slide, and it's just fun.
I think both of you sound pretty great.
Johnny Utah
Slip and
asks,
slide.
have you guys ever gotten into a serious argument? If so, what was it about?
Me and Cecil?
I don't know that it's ever been like a serious argument. I get pissed about stuff because I'm a big communication fan and Fuego's not. But outside of that, everything seems fine.
He kind of got you there, Fuego.
No, I know. Here's the thing. I'm sure.
But to be honest,
I'm sure from the outside I would look controlling, but at the same time, if I wasn't, you guys wouldn't get at least one episode every single day. Straight up. Am I wrong?
I love you.
We're oddly quiet. Oh, I love you, he says. So there's disagreement here?
No, I'm not the best communicator. I'll admit it. I'll own that shit.
Son of a bitch. No, I appreciate you owning that. Because it's true! Nonetheless.
It's true. It's damn true.
Bandersnatch was
okay,
fun.
let's
We
make
have not
some-
seen
let's make some room for
Bandersnatch.
this.
Yeah, Producer Dave, just get on camera if you want to say hi so
I'd
bad.
rather just do this.
Oh, he's mad. Who's mad, Music? Hi, Music.
Who's man?
Well, guys, I don't know. We're at an hour 16 on this, and now
Yeah,
we're
we
just
got
kind
through
of
all the
rambling.
stories. We're just goofing.
Yeah,
We
we're
were
just
looking
goofing off at this point.
We were looking at
Mom and Dad are talking that way again. All right, we need to end this so I can just get fucking Willis Screeda. What the fuck is a Willis Screeda anyway?
Hey, how come he's got
on
a
the
blue
channel?
hammer by his...
Because I made him... You know what? I'm going to revoke his blue wrench.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not going to revoke his wrench. No.
Oh no, your wrench!
No, he's a
No,
moderator.
I was just I mean,
I used to like him pretty well.
He's awesome. D. Snyder.
Oh, of course you think so.
Wait,
Why is that? Why-
There was a request that if you guys
He
argue,
wants you on his shit.
argue in a whisper.
Because he wants you on his shit. That's why, you motherfucker. You know that.
Have you seen D. Snyder's Strangeland?
No,
It's pretty
no, but I've
disturbing.
seen CP's show, which is why ultimately I don't care. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. It was a diss. I didn't mean to just put my foot on your foot, but that's a very representative picture that we should take. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it there. Burn. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I'm Cecil Laird, and I likely won't be this drunk next. Actually, I don't even feel that drunk. Is that weird?
You're just leveling up.
That means
man.
you're extra drunk.
No. Dave literally
No.
cut me off at one point.
Extra
I've
drunk-
been extra drunk where I'm like incoherent. I'm not incoherent by
extra
any
drunk
stretch.
is like Fuego on the Alien Covenant.
Extra
review
drunk is like
drunk.
Fuego every third week on the channel, to be honest with you. Look at me, he's so pissed, his face. No, it's okay. We love it. It always makes for fun episodes.
I don't love it. It's honestly the fact that I am a intermittent faster and a low carber, and on
Oh, he's
days
blaming the
that-
diet.
Well, no.
Not the fact that he's like...
Well, it's a combination of both. But on days where I'm like not starching,
Literally, it's because I'm like, hey, Fuego, you want another shot? And he's like, sure.
Yeah.
So I do blame myself.
just like over the course of this broadcast.
I
Although
only eat
I'm actually
souls on days that end with Y.
I don't know what Midsummer Scream is, Cinema of the Dead, so probably not. No, we went to Texas Frightmare and Mad Monster in Charlotte this year, so those are probably the horror conventions we'll go to this year. Next
besides
year,
Mad
well,
Monster, Arizona,
outside of
obviously,
Arizona is what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Next year, we want to try and go to Monsterpalooza. and maybe Crypticon.
Crypticon, just to switch it up that particular weekend, and try a different area of the
Maybe.
country.
And hook up with the Horror Addicts. That would be fun. And Queenie Todd. Queenie Todd's out there.
They're both in that area, and I've never been to the Northwest, dude. I've never been even to like San Francisco.
I'd like to go out there
Portland
too,
or
just for the rain.
You know.
I
think it's
gonna
gonna
rain. Okay, we sang 2 different fucking songs. Wow.
When I
All right.
die.
All right,
I
so
thought that's what you were singing.
No,
What
I
were you
was
singing?
singing
Garbage. I'm
no,
only happy.
no,
when it
I was singing
rains.
the what's the
Love Rain
the
Down on
R&B
Me?
black artist, the black R&B artist when I was working at Blockbuster, so it must have been 95, 96, where she's like, Missy Elliott, I can't stand the rain, when she's in that big inflatable suit.
I remember. Yeah.
That one. Yeah, y'all know.
Okay, I think it's gonna rain when I die. Anyway.
All right, we're going to call it there. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you sticking this out for this long. If you did, thank you all very much. We'll try and get back to doing the news more regularly. We just literally had so many events and so much to do. And Scary Bear is floating around like the boy in frickin' The Boy.
Well, I mean, it was
Let's
just
end
tough
this.
in the last like month or so because it was like, okay, 1 week convention, 1 week Mother's Day, another week film festival, another week. It was just like boom, boom, boom.
No,
boom,
2
boom,
weeks
boom, boom.
film festival.
Yeah.
2 weeks film festival, and then preparation for Phoenix Comic Con, and preparation for Texas Frightmare, and then Texas Frightmare, and then Phoenix Comic Con, and then we have Mad Monster next month. It's just
Gotta love the juggling act as I hit the
stop
Mikeys.
hitting the microphone. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Until
I
next
told
time,
you.
I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, 7. I mean, Fuego.
And
That's
remember-
Scare Bear.
That's definitely producer Dave. And remember, stay scared. Thank you for dealing with us.
Right in my hair.
Bye. I can't see how to
Peace
stop.
out.